Are we entering crypto winter again? It seems like there is this invisible ceiling in all kinds of metrics. In the Solana price, in the Solana total value locked, and in general how much capital currently is across all chains. The question is, can we potentially break out again? Let's have a look at the on-chain data most people are not considering. For example, this here, right? This is total value locked across all chains. We have seen DeFi summer peaking in November of 2021, and now a very similar peak at a very similar time of the year. This is all blockchains, but a lot of the growth in the last 2 years was actually triggered by Solana, by Memecoin trading on Solana, the Pump.fun ecosystem. Solana was one of the very few chains that was able to supersede the DeFi summer peak. It had 10 billion of total value locked in November 2021, but 13 billion in September of this year. What's scary is of course a potential downside, as in how much the TVL can contract, and when total value locked goes down, when capital flees the ecosystem, that of course has an impact on prices as well. We bottomed out at around 300 million of TVL. So that's a drop of 97%. It looks like we are back in winter mode and things are contracting, but that's just measured in US dollars. Measured in Solana, we're actually very close to the all-time high. We're not yet retracting. In other words, the activity on the decentralized finance platforms, it's pretty much still in positive momentum. But of course, there are important psychological hurdles to overcome. And for Solana, that is the $270 mark. The peak in November 2021 was $270. We have hit that peak 3 more times. We are quite a bit below that now. So if we regain the prior tops, we can potentially double from here. But that's the big question. Is this a realistic scenario? I'm publishing videos on Solana regularly on this channel. And one of the videos discussed the Solana dominance. It was titled, "Sell Your Solana." So how much of all of crypto is in Solana? At the time, it used to be at 3%. And unfortunately, it did come exactly as predicted. We are now at 2.5% of all of crypto being in Solana. So in the last 2 years, we traded in that range. Of course, if we zoom out a little bit more, the potential downside, in case we really enter a bear market now, is much, much worse. It is, of course, very important what the general market is doing, because Solana is seen as a more risk-on asset. It's meme coin trading, it's very risky, casino gambling for some. And so if you just want crypto exposure, you might just stick with Bitcoin and Ethereum. If you expect that crypto as a whole will go up from here, then Solana might have some leverage. But if the market goes down, the potential underperformance of Solana can also be very, very tough. We had our first decline during the Terra Luna collapse and a subsequent sell-off after FTX went belly up. Sam Bankman-Fried used to be a strong supporter of Solana, and that support of course went away, causing all of that selling, and the recovery came with Pump.fun, the meme coin trading on the chain. If you're enjoying this video so far and you're getting some value out of it, then feel free to give this a like. It will help the channel grow. It will help spread the word. Thank you very much. And so yes, things used to look quite bad, but we can look at the same chart now and potentially draw the exact opposite arrow. What we see over here, that's the number of active addresses on the Solana chain. And there are 2 ways to look at this. We could just say, okay, this is long-term going down. This is bearish momentum. We don't want to be part of this. But if we zoom in a little bit, we could also argue that this is now stabilizing, right? Just have a look at this. In the recent past, in the last few weeks, we did not go down in the number of active addresses anymore. And that's exactly what we want, right? We want to buy something low that has the potential to turn around now. There's also 2 ways to look at this chart. This is Solana relative to all other altcoins. So that's the others market cap, the market cap of the alts that are not in the top 10. The pessimistic way of looking at this chart is to see the potential underperformance of 70%. The optimistic way to look at this chart is to see the long-term outperformance, as in Solana does perform better than most other altcoins over the cycles. This is an outperformance of 90% if we just connect those 3 tops and assume that this trend will prevail. I actually do believe that there's a good case to be made that Solana will outperform most other altcoins long term, simply because the token inflation is lower, right? Most altcoins have very high token inflation. Early investors and insiders, they cash out over time. The number of circulating tokens goes up very quickly while the demand doesn't grow at the same rate. This is what depresses most altcoins in price. But Solana has a relatively modest token inflation, and that's why it can outperform most other altcoins. So I do believe that long term this trend will likely stay intact. And then it's just a matter of time horizon. Are you trading for the next few weeks and months? And are you rather bearish on the overall market? Then it doesn't look too great. But if you're building just an altcoin portfolio and you're willing to hold this over many years, Solana might be a better choice than most other small alts. I think it all comes down to the general macro environment. This is the stablecoin market cap. It did go sideways in the last few weeks, but it's now recovering again. We do see inflows into the market again. And of course, we do want to see more money flowing into crypto. We want to see more capital getting bridged from traditional finance into the crypto ecosystem. That can then also push up crypto prices. And as an extension, it will push up the Solana ecosystem even more, because rising prices attract speculation, and speculation leads to risk on assets performing even better. So that's the stablecoin market cap. Here is the stablecoin dominance. How much of all of crypto is currently in stablecoins? This tended to bottom out at around 5%. And it's now coming up from one cycle to the next. This is the last 2 years of data. At the bottom, we see the Solana price. Whenever the stablecoin dominance is low, the Solana price tends to be high. Whenever the stablecoin dominance tends to be high, the Solana price tends to be low. Currently, stablecoin dominance tends to be high. Thus, this might be a buying opportunity. But this is just, again, a matter of time horizon. When we zoom out a bit more, we see that the stablecoin dominance peaked at 16%. So that's probably the best time to buy, right? When we are at 16% stablecoin dominance, Solana is extremely cheap. And the next weeks are probably going to make the decision. Are we going to see positive momentum again? Are people going to deploy their stablecoins, leading to a rising Solana price? Or will the general macro stay bearish, pushing down Solana with it? Which then, of course, means that the stablecoin dominance goes up to potentially all the way to the 16% mark. I think if we continue to see stablecoin inflows into the market, if this is actually going up, we don't go sideways until the end of the year, then there is a good chance for a recovery if and only if the long-term holders stop selling their Bitcoin. Because Bitcoin has an impact on all of crypto as well, right? When Bitcoin goes up, this pushes up many other alts as well. If Bitcoin goes down, that's problematic. The long-term holders, they are selling since Bitcoin hit 110K. They are selling more aggressively now than they've ever done over the last 3 years. That's the fundamental problem. The long-term holders are exiting. They're pushing down everything. And that's not great for risk-on assets like the Solana, the enabler of Memecoin trading, either. I want to see this statistic turn around. I look at this every single day. I look at the daily updates, and unfortunately, even today, we went back down again. I want to see that this sell pressure stops, because that would be really positive news. And then buying the dip when the stablecoin dominance is high becomes much easier. Then this case becomes much more likely. So far, given that we still see long-term holders offloading, I think it's better to hold back. I think it's okay that I'm wearing a bear costume in the avatar of this channel. And I will update this when this statistic here turns around. This is my key indicator. If you want to keep it simple and you don't want to watch every single YouTube video, try to figure out what's the best trade to make, and feel free to join the premium membership of this channel. I publish a premium update market video every 3 to 4 days over there. So here are the premium update videos. It's only 10 to 15 minutes, twice a week roughly. And with those videos, you know exactly what I currently do, how my portfolio is currently set up. Of course, I'm also sharing every single trade that I do in real time in a dedicated chat as well. Thanks for watching. Hope you got some value out of this video. If you did, then feel free to give this a like. See you next time on YouTube, or see you in premium. Cheers.